You unlock this door with the key of imagination. Beyond it lies another dimension. A dimension of sound. A dimension of sight. A dimension of mind. You're moving into a land of both shadow and substance. Things and ideas. You've just crossed over into the Microsoft Surface Zone. Well, at least I'm getting a feeling of deja vu. I don't know about you. These things are starting to look pretty much the same. They're not doing anything apart from a spec bump. That's pretty much, I could end the video there. But yeah, okay. Sorry for the wildly eccentric intro, but that's pretty much just how I kind of feel about this whole thing. I'm a bit stumped for what to say. It was nice to see an announcement, some new hardware, but is it new? That's pretty much the be-all and end-all of it, really. Thanks for watching. No, seriously, guys. If you've stuck with me for a while and you've been watching this channel, then you'll know that we already created a video here. A couple of videos, in fact, where we showed off what we hoped the Surface Studio could be for its second version, including that rotating back panel. Now, we did that over a year ago, and funnily enough, the Surface Hub 2 was revealed, and funnily enough, even though our Surface Studio 2 video was done a whole year before the Surface Hub 2 came out, their rotating back panel was the same as ours. Yeah, anyway, so yeah, we were really hoping that the Surface Studio would rotate as well, but yeah, guess what? It doesn't. This is really just a specs bump. So I won't complain anymore. Let's take a look at those specs and see what they're really like, because I will say this, everybody loved the Surface Studio 1, and I went down to London to see The Verge last time when the Surface Studio 1 was announced, and I helped The Verge to review that, and that was fun and that was very exciting. And while I did love the Surface Studio 1, a lot of things that people complained about with the Surface Studio was that for the price they weren't giving us the top of the line processor, the graphics card. It wasn't all the top of the line gear. This time with the Surface Studio 2, are we getting everything top of the shelf? Let's take a look. So looking at the specs, I'm pretty sure that this is identical. It certainly looks like the same unit. Build quality wise, I'm sure is just as good and as solid, but straight off the bat the dimensions are there and we can see, yeah, there's nothing changed at all, and I think that's a bit of a shame. Obviously I've mentioned already that we cannot rotate this. Tilt wise, yeah, there's nothing you can do. First thing I've got to say is that you couldn't put this completely flat before, and you still can't. Sorry. I would have liked to have seen that myself. There's certain things, even if it was just little things like a slightly bigger bezel. I know some people don't like a large bezel, some people want no bezel at all, but from an artist point of view, the bezel is good. Display wise, it's the same 3x2 28-inch screen. The only thing that you will notice the difference of is that this screen is actually a little bit brighter. I personally thought the one thing that made the Surface Studio, the first edition, absolutely knockout was the fact that the screen was amazing. So this one, yeah, I'm sure this will be brilliant. If anything, the only thing I could imagine doing is turning the brightness on the screen down, because the last one was so good. Why does this one need to be brighter? But yeah, no, absolutely fine. If they want to make the screen even better, I'm all for that. Will it be a good enough screen? Will it be, will the colours be good enough? Artists, creatives, etc. There are certain monitors out there, specifically made for creatives. So I'm hopefully going to be covering a lot of this soon in videos. But yeah, I think the way that Microsoft talks about this is, the Surface Studio is great for gamers. And video editing and stuff like that, but yeah, color correcting for photographers and artists, it's one of those things that I'd personally have to get my hands on a Surface Studio 2 and have a look at it. So yeah, we just don't know for sure how great it is. I'd have to deep dive into the specs, but yeah, certainly the first Surface Studio had a great screen, so I can't see this one, not being as good. RAM. This has 16 to 32 gigs in the top of the line. Personally, for the amount of money you're spending on this, to be honest, 16 gigs I'd want in a portable device, not on a desktop or an all-in-one like this. I'd expect it to be 32 or 64 gigs of RAM. Devices last year were giving us 32 and 64, so this being Microsoft's flagship and only desktop device, yeah, I'd have expected 32 or 64, especially for this amount of money. So yeah, sorry Microsoft, I think realistically it's the one area that you really could have improved upon, especially if you're saying, hey gamers, I know RAM isn't the most important thing for certain areas of development, especially if you wanted to create like a workhorse. But if you're wanting this to be an all-round device that you're selling to lots of different areas, and I know that's what you do with Surface devices, you don't just sell it to artists, otherwise you'd give us a matte screen. But 64 gigs, you could do that for the same price point, I'm sure, or a very small increase in price. So yeah, I think 64 gigs would have been better, and this isn't something that people can upgrade themselves because this is a sealed unit. So realistically, yeah, I'm a bit disappointed at that. In terms of graphics card, this has the NVIDIA GeForce 1060 or the 1070 graphics card, which both of those are very beefy. Definitely very good graphics card. Are they the best? They're definitely up there. So I think for digital artists, creatives, animators, video guys, you're all going to absolutely love these. And even if you are a gamer, then yeah, these are absolutely great. I'm not knocking these cards at all. I think they're absolutely awesome, and they will definitely do you a great job. I think, are these gonna become defunct anytime soon? No, because they're just great all-round cards. So I think no matter what, they will definitely last. I think they're definitely an improvement on the Surface Studio 1, and I think this is one of the major things that was lacking last time, was there was just not enough power in the graphics department. So it's nice to see that Surface have really sorted this out. Now the processor, this is the i7-7820HQ, and this is an absolutely not new processor. It's current at the moment, but yeah, this will probably go out of date quite quickly. It's a shame. I was hoping that we were kind of going to be given something really top of the range, like like something we'd maybe not heard of, something that was just about to be released, something mind-bogglingly new. That's what we were really hoping for, and you know that Microsoft should have the pull to get that. How will it perform? I really couldn't say until I got my hands on one, but even then, I think watching any review of one is not going to be a benchmark for you personally. It all depends on what you do, how you use it, and what applications you're using it for. If you're a video guy, if you're a 3D guy, if you're a digital artist, then that processor is going to work slightly different for you. If you're using applications like ZBrush, then it works differently with the processor than it does to Photoshop, for example, because your processor interacts differently with your graphics card and your SSD. So yeah, a newer processor with more cores would have been better, because it's going to give you you know, more abilities for things like ZBrush. ZBrush. Yeah, you know what I'm talking about. Yeah, so definitely a little disappointing there on the processor. I would have liked to have seen something a little more cutting edge. In terms of connections, yeah, you get 4 USBs, you get an Ethernet port and all that. I'm just going to have a look at this again. USB-C port. That's not Thunderbolt. That's USB-C. On a device like this, which I can't upgrade, it's a desktop computer. The whole idea of this is on an all-in-one that it's supposed to be sleek, beautiful, make my desk look totally clean. I don't want to have docks lying around. So realistically, what I want, maybe 3 Thunderbolt ports on the back there. Not 1 USB-C port. A USB-C port is useless. It's as useless as a normal USB Type 3 port. You know, it's stuck on there literally, so people go, ooh, USB-C. It's just, it may as well be a sticker. You know, we use Thunderbolt devices. I've got loads of them slung around here. The only thing that you actually, you know, use USB-C for is plugging in your phone, you know, for quick charging. We want Thunderbolt so we can actually plug in monitors and have them host powered. You know, a decent tablet is Thunderbolt as well. But there's loads of things that we want Thunderbolt connected. And quite frankly, yeah, when you tell us that it's USB-C, it's no good. We can just use normal USB. So yeah, sorry, USB-C is pretty much pointless. Give us Thunderbolt, or, you know, to be honest, yeah, you try to create something sleek, something beautiful, and all it's going to leave us with is a hub or maybe 2 hubs on our desk. This is supposed to be this year's model. If I'm going to spend $4,000 on this, and that's the top of the range model, then I'm going to have it for what, 3 or 4 years, you know. So yeah, by that time Thunderbolt is going to be well and truly in. Loads of my devices are going to be there. I'm going to need loads of those on my desk. I really should have Thunderbolt in my device. Nothing was really mentioned about the cameras and the microphones on this, and that's really simply because the camera on this is 5 megapixel, and that's absolutely rubbish. Really, the cheapest phone that you can buy on the market has like an 8 megapixel front facing camera. So why Microsoft? Why is this just some junk you had laying over in a box somewhere? Leftover pieces from the Surface Studio 1. Are these actually just recycled Surface Studio 1s that you've just replaced a few parts in? That's what I'm starting to think here. Now, the good news is, in the box is the Surface keyboard, the Surface mouse, and the Surface pen. This pen has got 4,000 levels of pressure, which is the new and latest pen. It does have tilt as well. That's probably the most major thing for artists, is the level of pressure. But it doesn't come with the Surface dial, and it didn't last time either. To me, I would have liked to have seen the dial included this time. The dial hasn't been upgraded. Maybe they're going to release a new dial. I was wondering if that might have happened this time. If they haven't released it now, then I don't think they're going to release it until maybe June next year. You know, maybe sometime around spring next year anyway. But yeah, so no new dial, not included in this box, but you've got the pen anyway, 4,000 levels of pressure and tilt. So that's good at least. This, yeah, You can always use something like a hotkey remote. I've got some other videos with some other options that you can use. You know, you can always go for a mini keyboard or one of those other things that I've got a video for. Go and check that out. So all in all, what do I think to the Surface Studio 2? You've seen my reactions to the components there, and yeah, I admit I don't seem thoroughly amazed by them. But it's not the components as they stand individually, it's as the piece as a whole works. I think there are components that are going to maybe not make this the greatest piece in the universe. As it stands, I don't think the Surface stylus is the best stylus on the market. I find the buttons hard to use. I find the gloss screen terribly annoying. However, I find the Surface Book still one of the best standalone portable devices available. It's just something about it I like. I can't exactly put it into words. Well, I can, but it's very long-winded. It basically comes down to its usability, and that's what I have to think about here with the Surface Studio 2. You know, the matte screen that I'd love, and all those things that we put in the video with our Surface Studio 2 that I'd like. The ability to rotate it, the matte screen, the hotkeys, you know, the dial version 2 that we wanted. You know, I'd still love to see all that come. You know, maybe that's the Surface Studio 3. Maybe I just see this as the Surface Studio 1.5 instead. What do I recommend for you if you're going to get one of these? Well, they're already on pre-order now. First thing I'd recommend doing is pre-ordering yourself matte screen protector as well. Even though I don't recommend screen protectors in any way, I'd still say you have to get one if you're going to get one of these. But I would also recommend, you know, getting yourself a good USB-C hub, and I would also recommend getting yourself a couple other things like a micro keyboard for hotkeys, or looking at the Wacom Express Key remote. You know, just other little add-ons to just make it that bit better. You know, I've got plenty of videos about little bits like that that might expand your Microsoft Studio experience. But yeah, stick with me, and I'm gonna show you my video on the Surface Pro 6 as well. Ooh, black. I pretty much have similar thoughts on this, but I'll go into detail more. Obviously, I've been using the Surface Pro since number 2, and yeah, it's been a lot of fun. I've got plenty of videos of me using the Surface Studio and the Surface Book and the Surface Pro. You know, there's been very few of them that I haven't used. I haven't used the Surface Go yet. I never used the Surface Laptop, and that was about it. But yeah, I'm just generally finding that realistically, the Surface team haven't done anything new in the last couple of years. Everything has been spec bumps. Even the Surface Go, really. Okay, it's smaller, but other than that, it's just different specs. So I haven't been as excited about Surface. Sorry guys, unless you want to give us a new design. I was hoping for that with the Surface Book 2. I was hoping for a brand new hinge or something. But yeah, HP is doing some nice stuff. And we're seeing a lot of other companies really step up to the plate. Who do you like at the moment? Who's coming up with some nice stuff? You know, are there any other all-in-ones like the Surface Studio? Sliding. Are there any other guys like the Surface Studio that you really like? You know, nice all-in-ones. At the moment, I've been using this Dell all-in-one here that's pretty beautiful. And, you know, it's nice. The only thing I put off about that is that it's a bit noisy. The Surface Studio 2 has improved its cooling. I didn't want to go into detail about that because I don't know much about that. Apparently it's a bit quieter. but they didn't really say too much about that or show it off, and until we review it, then we can't say. So, but yeah, so there you go. Till next time, have a great day and keep on being creative. I'll see you in the next video. Hey look, you're still here. Make sure to click that subscribe button before you go and the little notification bell next to it, because if you don't click that, then even clicking subscribe basically means nothing these days, as YouTube probably won't let you know when the next video is. Not my fault, blame YouTube. See you later guys, have a great day.